Jam with Sam. Jam with Sam.
Hi, my name is Sharanya Natarajan, and I'm going to introduce Sam. Mr.Sampath Iyengar, mind and heart behind the creation of the Indian Networker, is a self-made entrepreneur who is passionate about networking and believes what Robert Kiyosaki once said: the richest man or the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. Being born networker, he has spent a good decade and more in Rotary International, which he joined, and a member since 1995, and also a part of BNI India since 2005. An ardent believer of spontaneity, variety, and new ideas, being a 9-to-5 person was never his thing. However, being an entrepreneur is what culled him. Thus, in 1991, he incorporated Sam7 Computers and Networks, a computer systems and services company. His inclination towards variety and experimentation gave way to yet another organization called Neosocial 7, a digital media business, which he started in 2009. As an added variation to mobilize the virtual connections came the idea of Jam with Sam, an invite-only chat show, an event with a twist. Jam with Sam started in January 2012 with just about 10 people, and today it has grown to be a network of 40 influential business people, and the number continues to grow. The platform has facilitated many business deals and has brought together like-minded professionals who look out for each other. In August 2013, Sam thought of an idea where he could bring together all networking organizations for what he calls a confluence of network. That was where the idea of the Indian Networker was born, where people from various networks like IT, NGOs like Rotary, BNI, Giants, referral networking groups all come together and create a humongous conclave of networks, which will create synergies and tie-ups among themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sampath Iyengar.
Aroona, welcome to Jam with Sam.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you.
You have the hot seat.
I know. I can see that. One that squishes down when I sit.
Yes. So, first question.
Yes.
You were in the Limca Book of Records.
That's right.
What was that for?
Well, that is because I do the bindi on my forehead within 1 minute, and for the fact that I never ever repeat a design. So these are the two reasons why I'm in the Limca book.
So tell us something about you. Are you an image consultant per se, or are you something more than an image consultant?
I'm definitely more than an image consultant.
Okay.
It goes beyond just an image makeover for clients, and it's I don't stick to the regular grooming and etiquette and body language. That of course is a must, because without that, stage 2 and every other development doesn't really come into place. But there is a very interesting term nowadays that people use, which I haven't as yet begun to use. Literally, it talks about an image coach. An image coach. So that's what it is, because you look at various aspects of the person and his personality, and you work on that far beyond what a regular image consultant does. So that's what I do.
So just like we have an action coach, which is Harish Mehta over here.
Absolutely.
So we have an image coach.
Image coach.
So Harish, that's a good combination for you, you know. Interesting. So Aroona, were you born and brought up in Mumbai?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was born in a quaint little town. I love to call it quaint, in a place called as Mangalore,
okay,
which is a lovely little coastal town. I don't know how many of you have been there or heard of the place, but that's where I'm from.
So a town is a huge city. Yeah?
It's now turned into a huge city, but when we were growing up, everybody knew everybody. literally.
Bangalore is pretty. I think there's a very nice ice cream joint over there.
Yes.
Called as
Ideal.
Ideal.
Ideal
Yes.
ice cream.
Which one?
Pabbas now has become famous, but before Pabbas, the BAP of Pabbas was Ideal ice cream.
Great. So, can you tell us something about your journey? Were you trained to be a image consultant, or did something happen along the way? Have you had a formal training or something, or what?
It is something that happened along the way.
Okay.
I'm professionally actually trained as a PR and a mass communication expert. I did that for a couple of years. I also did events. I did events under one of the biggest names in Bombay called Devika Bhojwani.
Okay.
So I started off with her and eventually branched off, did my own events, moved on to active PR. When I was doing PR, and a couple of television channels just saw their own birth at that point in time, and they needed somebody called as a celebrity consultant, wherein they would fall back on people like me who would bring in celebrities and celebrity content into their channels. So it was for television channels, for radio channels that I started doing this work for. And what I realized that my rapport with the people that I brought on board, they were directors, they were top actors, they were, such kind of celebrities for the shows, and I had such a kind of a rapport, probably the way I just spoke maybe, that I told them that they weren't doing certain things right, or I wanted them to sit in a particular way, especially because they were appearing on national television. Sometimes I didn't like the clothes they wore, and that kind of a thing.
Tell them at that
I
time?
actually used to tell them that.
Okay. So is it something natural which comes out from you?
It came extremely naturally,
Okay.
and I moved on from that because I realized that this is something I would have done very well, and I could have done very well. And in America at that point in time, we're talking about 2008, 2009, image consultancy was getting really big. And in India per se, there wasn't really anyone who was doing it. There were a couple of ladies, now socialites, who have been doing it. So that was a kind of, gradual climb or a jump into this field,
So
and I've been actively doing it
Which
now.
year was this? When you did
I'm talking about 2008, 2009.
2008,
Yes.
2009.
Yes.
Okay. Now there's a whole image consulting institutes which have come up
Yes.
and all that stuff.
Yes.
You have a lot of people who are coming. So now it's become a pretty much cool thing to do.
Absolutely.
Over there.
Absolutely.
So what is your impression compared? Do you think those are much more well organized compared to what you have done, or are you one up about them, or you're on space with them? What do you have to say about that?
The kind of institutes that are there in the country is an extremely good beginning for people. The kind of in someone like me, for example, realization dawned along the way that this is something that I can do. But here now is a profession that people feel right after college I can possibly go and do that course, right? So that kind of a difference is there. But in terms of what is it that they can do with that kind of knowledge versus the kind of background that I have come from, I think I can see the difference because I do interact with image consultants even otherwise, and I'm almost always asked if they can come and train with me for a bit, or just sit in my sessions, because I do know that the content is completely different. So we're not talking about the regular, like I keep saying, it's not just about the etiquette and the body language and the grooming. There's a lot more. The kind of assessments that you do about the personality type and all of that is so much more different than what institute will teach their students and send them out into the world with.
So you think they are much more organized, much more
They
trained right
certainly
now?
are. Yes,
right
they are organized as a base platform. You climb on your own merit with your own experiences, and your experiences should help you create a syllabus or a program that will benefit everybody, which is what I have done over and above what a regular
Now there are two things. One is you take a coach on, who keeps on, I know that you do this wardrobe and all that kind of stuff and all. And the second is who goes for a session. They have a general training session, maybe about 10, 12 people over there, and then they train them over there.
Right.
Now, I'm sure the first general training session is much more cost effective over there, given the numbers over there. What would you suggest to maybe a person who's a businessman or something? Would you suggest a personal coach?
100%.
Is it affordable? Is it affordable compared to a
very affordable.
It's very affordable.
Very, very, very affordable. I would recommend that anybody who is a CEO, businessman, whatever profession you're in, go in for some kind of a session for sure, because we almost always tend to think of ourselves as being absolutely perfect. We don't need help. I hear this so many times from people that, mujhe nahi chahiye. I'm absolutely fine. They're the first ones that require help. That's something that I've also learned along the way. But yes, when you do a one-to-one, there's a lot more that can come out of that session versus a group 10 people sitting there and you just, spilling out all your knowledge onto them.
One question is there, a lot of Indian men are dark skinned.
Yes.
I'm one of them over there.
Yes.
So you have a very less wardrobe,
Yes.
like you can't wear some, Govinda colors and the pants and all that stuff and all.
Right.
So what do you have to say about that? I mean, should you go with the trend so you should have something fixed over there?
I would 5,000% believe that every Indian man should experiment with their wardrobe. People don't do it, it's very unfortunate. Bright colors on dark skin looks really nice. So this again is a misconception that dark people cannot carry off bright colors, but they actually can. So I would think that, go along the entire spectrum, follow trends if you want to, come to me for advice if you want to, either way but do it.
So next time you're suggesting I can wear an orange color suit and something.
Perfect. Make sure it's in linen though.
Okay, fine. That's interesting. Okay, a couple of things is, compared to women in India, men compared to women in India, do you think that they are much more lesser, trained in a type of your body language, in your clothes, and the image, compared to people from abroad?
Absolutely. Indian men, unfortunately, the room is full of most of you are men here, but Indian men do have this preconceived notion that I'm right, I do it best, and I'm the be all and end all. I guess it is. It goes everything, with the kind of way our mothers have brought us up to be. So Indian men do tend to have this kind of a preconceived notion about themselves. I wish it wasn't so. Indian men are less polite. Indian men do not have enough etiquette. I can go on. Grooming, not very good. So, but I can see a room full of people that are pretty much well turned out. So, hats off.
Let's give us a hand. A general trend, people used to always say, look, you have this thing, IBM, those men in suits, you'll have snappy suits, great tie, shoes and all. But if you see with the current industry, like you see a lot of this internet startups, like I had gone for a Google event. There the managing director is wearing jeans, he's wearing a linen jacket and a t-shirt inside. Those ties and all are gone. So you think this ties, the Friday dressing has become a full week dressing now?
Not really true, because if you go back to the countries which advocate things like these, it came from America, where we decided we'd wear a pair of jeans and put a blazer on and pass off as, semi-formal or whatever. We have gone way beyond that. Image consultants in America today are actually walking up to companies that have taken on this casual attire and are trying to change the trend there. And they're telling them that when there is a business, there is a certain kind of protocol that you need to maintain, even with the kind of dressing that you do. So suits are back, and suits are getting back into your boardrooms, even if the boardroom is that of an IT company.
Okay. Yes. So suits, you're talking about formal suits, or you're talking about the linen suits, or what kind of suits?
Linen suits does bring in an X amount of casuality to...
casuality and a bit of formality
that's
also.
Right. Okay. It's a very interesting thing. The way you wear a suit entirely depends on the kind of profession you're in. Okay. All right? So there are professions like advertising professionals can actually wear linen suits and get away with it. It's all right. But I wouldn't expect a Mukesh Ambani, for example, to walk into his office wearing a linen suit at all.
He owns Vimal, so he'll have that.
He doesn't own Vimal, by the way.
Okay. What about Indian women? You think they are on par with the foreign styles? Are they keeping update? Because a lot of the foreign styles don't have traditional, things like saris, like salwar kurtas and all that stuff. And that's pretty trendy over here. And I think a lot of people in West are trying to copy that stuff over there. So you think Indian women compared to Indian men are much more ahead in terms of clothing and all?
In terms of color, in terms of design, Indian women most certainly are, much more forward than anybody else on this planet. The reason being, we are born into so much of color. There's so much of color around us, right from the kind of color that we use in our cooking. There's so much of greens, and the masalas are, you know, your oranges and your reds. So we are born into dealing with color. Indian women are born admiring and advocating that color in their everyday lives. In terms of trends, in terms of following trends, I think Indian women do tend to go and buy whatever is latest in the market. Okay. And we do owe a lot of that, of course, to all the television Saspo serials.
Absolutely.
That's a huge trendsetter in this country. What they wear on television is what we want to buy, you know, for ourselves. Okay. So that's the way it is. So if you look at it that way, Indian women are most certainly going to go ahead and buy those kind of saris, versus the men who would look at those programs and, you know, not wear the kind of clothes that those men are wearing.
Now, a slightly touchy question is,
yes.
A lot of the men, you know, they observe women, and a lot of the women observe men.
Yes.
But I think women observe men more about their attire
yes.
than anything else. Like,
absolutely.
you know, a person is not going to see, okay, I see that's a nice earring you're wearing or something like that. But the lady will see what are the shoes he's wearing, what is the watch he's wearing.
Absolutely.
Is
yes.
that holds true?
Very, very true. I think a woman almost always is assessing the man. Is this man good enough? Is this thing actually good enough for conversation? Is this thing good enough? Will this thing match my wallet? So Indian women are actually doing it. The women in cities are most certainly doing it. So attire, it starts with the shoes more than anything else. Almost always women tend to look at the shoes of the men.
Polished or not?
Yes, polished, not polished. What is the kind of shoe? Yes, there may not necessarily be knowledge in terms of rubber sole or leather sole or whatever. That's a different story. But is the shoe a good one is one of the first things that women look at. Okay. So please make sure you all focus on your shoes.
Carry polish everywhere. No?
Carry polish everywhere.
Fantastic. And in terms of men, what are the things a man can experiment with in terms of, you know, daily dressing wear? Some, you know, simple things. See, today to go and buy a suit, it's not always that you end up wearing that suit over there. But when you're going for general office work, what is the kind of clothes they should wear? A bit, you know, comfortable also and not too casual.
Most certainly the shoes will stay formal.
Okay.
Immaterial of what you're doing, unless of course it's your Friday or whichever day you decide is your semi-off day. So a Saturday is a different story. But otherwise, I would still believe, if nothing else, then at least stick to a button-down shirt. Okay. Men should go out wearing button-down shirts. Even if you want to knock off your blazers and your suits, that's all right. But a button-down shirt almost always gives you that formal look, which really makes you extremely presentable. The reason being, Indian men, we don't like to spend too much on our shirts. So we tend to buy shirts that are slightly inferior quality, and the collar of the shirt tends to, you know, take the shape of an absolutely old person. They crinkle and they crease and the collars really fail. But when you wear something like a button down, it tends to stay upright whether you like it or you don't. So that is, button down is a shirt Viagra. So you can actually go ahead and wear a button down. I would advise a button down for sure.
How about ties? I mean, is the tie dead?
No.
It's not dead.
Tie is not dead. Most certainly not a bow tie either. A bow tie is so in, it's not funny. So I would advise, if you're not comfortable with a tie, you don't know how to tie the tie, go and invest in a lovely bow tie.
But that normally goes with a tuxedo, no?
Not really. It's again a preconceived notion that it goes only with a tuxedo. You can carry it off even otherwise. If you're going in for a meeting, you can wear. But because of this preconceived notion that it goes only with a tux, people don't tend to wear it.
Okay. Yeah. A couple of quick tips for men. What should a man have in his wardrobe?
Colors of pants for sure.
Describe colors.
Describe colors. The basics which I see in this room, you all are doing well. So we do look at blacks. You even look at a metallic black. You do have your brown, your beige, all of that. You do certainly have some linen trousers. Linen trousers are a must in terms of whites in case you're going in for a brunch party or some such thing like that. Lunch with your boss and his wife maybe on the boat. So that's where you'd want to wear your linens. So in terms of pants, please have the basic colors in place. Even a darker brown will do. In terms of shirts, of course, go in with your whites. The whites are great. colors are exceptionally brilliant. There are so many colors that do come out in the market today. Again, preconceived notion that light pinks and light blues are not really macho, but they're extremely macho. So pinks also. The South African cricket team wore pink for the tour this year.
Amit is also wearing pink today.
Yes,
He
that's
looks
right.
smart.
And yes, I can see another. I think that's a pink or is that a purple? Okay, in this light it looks pretty much like a pink. But yes, purple again. Purple, incidentally, is the color that's trending this year. So that is a color that you must get, and all men should get it because it is a color that goes for both men and women. You're talking about purples. You're talking about blues. Violets, they are universal colors this time for men and women, so go get those colors and make your wardrobe a very interesting one.
What about accessories for men? What should a man basic accessory should be?
Belt in place,
Yeah, belt to
definitely.
chahiye
No, I have seen people without belts, wearing suits without belts, and I really want to walk up to them. I mean, I have walked up to a couple of them and told them that, you know, you're so well.
I know a couple of them.
Yes, that's right, who come without a belt. So please make sure that your belt is definitely in place. Please make sure that your pens are very much in place. Please make sure you walk around with a decent wallet. We tend to walk around with either frayed wallets or no wallets. So please make sure that the wallet is also absolutely in place. These are a few basic things. A handkerchief.
Yeah.
A handkerchief for men. Can I get a glass of water?
Yeah, sure.
Handkerchief for men is an absolute must. We tend to think that it's dead. Actually isn't. You must.
So handkerchief should be in the pocket, na? Not standing in your...
No, you don't really need a pocket square. That's pretty useless, actually.
I know. It doesn't do
Unless you want to be a James Bond moment and wish it off and, you know, give it to somebody who's crying, for which you'd probably have to slap or pinch her before that.
What about cufflinks?
Yes, most certainly. That depends on the kind of shirt and suit that you're wearing. So have them around as your accessories. You buy a shirt that you can wear it with. Most certainly do not roll it up and leave it.
Okay.
Wear those cufflinks.
Cufflinks over there.
Yes.
We see a lot of people wearing these, funny ties with, like Xmas and Santa Claus and, Easter Bunny and all that stuff on that. Do people actually wear them to office?
They don't really wear them to office.
I've seen
they
some
are,
people.
yeah, it's pretty much of a party-going tie.
Absolutely.
But you don't really wear them to office, unless, of course, somebody thinks of it as, being the atmosphere in the office is so casual, where they are. Thank you so much. Where they are indeed interacting with children, like an NGO. Probably can have people walking around with those kind of ties. That's all right, but not otherwise.
So do you have these workshops for men who can come and attend these workshops also?
Yes, yes.
So we can come and attend and
100%, yes.
Basics, belt and shoes should match. Okay. If you're I'm just clearing stuff with you. Brown.
You've done your homework.
Yeah. So brown. If you're wearing a chinos, a brown chinos, and that. Can you wear black or should it be a brown shoes on that?
What do you think?
I think it should be a brown because it's going with that. But sometimes the black gives a contrast, but it becomes a bit odd.
What also you need to take into consideration there is the height of the person.
Okay.
If the person is extremely tall, I would recommend something to break the length of the entire body. Otherwise, please go ahead. Shorter people, for example, should wear same colored everything. It looks that much more uniform, including socks. Tends to be, so the length of the leg tends to look a lot longer and makes you look taller than you actually are. Yes.
And what do you say about people wearing white tennis socks with?
I want to send them home.
Actually,
probably give them a whack.
I've seen people wearing suits.
Yes.
And then wearing a white tennis socks inside.
Yes, absolutely no.
I mean, I think that's one of the basic things which
that you don't do.
You don't do that.
You don't do that. You don't do that. Yeah.
Okay. I think I've run out of questions. What about women?
In terms of what?
What accessories and something trends they should have?
I think every single woman in this room would have all the accessories. If you open their bags, you will find right from creams to sanitizers to some of the unmentionables. I'm very sure it's all there. So for the ladies, I think every single woman knows what she wants and she will have it in there.
Absolutely. You love pets.
Yes, I do.
Can you tell something about the pets in your house? I've gone to a house, it's literally like animal kingdom over there.
Yeah.
So just tell us a couple of pets which you have.
I have 3 of them. There are 2 dogs and one is a turtle. And
Their names. Their names.
My older boy, I call them they're my babies. So my older boy is a Labrador. He's 7.5 years old. And his name is His Royal Highness Troy Singh Bhular of Lokhandwala. And the little girl, she's a pug, she's 3.5 years old, and she's Lucy Diamond Bhular. My turtle is called Gabbar Singh. So the reason he's called Gabbar Singh is because we tried introducing, he came to us as a full-grown turtle. So we, out of the fact that we really pitied him a lot, introduced some fish into the tank. And the next morning we woke up and we couldn't even find a fin floating around. He'd eaten them all. So ever since we've called him Gabbar Singh. And as of now, in the past 1 month, I've been having this crow that's been coming literally like a pet. So I've called him Kalia, and he gets fed.
So you have Sholay happening in your house.
I truly do.
What does your husband do?
He's a film producer.
Okay.
Yes.
So what sort of films? Bollywood or?
Sorry?
Bollywood or?
Yes, completely Bollywood. We're talking about Bollywood commercial cinema.
Any film which, not that I watch many Bollywood movies, but anything which we know
Our,
about?
the one that is set to release, hopefully in the next couple of months, is called Tamanche. It's got Nikhil Vivedi and Richa Chadda. Richa Chadda is a girl who's been in films like Gangs of Wasseypur.
Okay.
So, and she won the Filmfare also. So that's a very interesting film that we're looking forward to having out and enjoy.
Fantastic. Aroona, it's been great having you on Jammin.
Pleasure's all mine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Sam.
And
Thank
this
you.
is a...
And a mug, how sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Are we
And
done?
we have one more on.
Oh, yes. The
It's a
Indian
dual,
network on
it's
the
dual
other side,
now.
yes. Dual SIM.
Dual SIM. And
Thank
this
you
is
so
a
much.
bhaji bag.
Okay, that's lovely.
That's nice.
Yes,
It's from
very
Jammin
nice.
Sam.
And this color is trending. So good you got it on. Sorry, I couldn't help but notice it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aroonas.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.